Welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I'm going to run you through how I make one of my very favorite go-to meals. It's a really simple and easy vegetable stir fry. I'm just going to take you through the ingredients quickly now. I've got some peanut satay tofu, or you can use any sort of tofu and marinate it yourself. It's just for convenience that I like it pre-marinated. I've then also got a stir fry vegetable pack. Now, you can obviously buy all these vegetables fresh and convenient, all put together. But for me, just for time for today, one of the things I do is I normally buy like a pre-pack, but this is all fresh. But essentially this has got broccoli, red cabbage, carrot, zucchini, red capsicum, onion and snow peas in there. So really good that it's already pre-made, saves a lot of time, but again, if you want to cover it all up, you can. I've got some mushrooms here as well. I've got another capsicum. Just at the moment, the reason why I'm adding another capsicum to it is that capsicum is a really great source of vitamin C, and as we're starting to get into the colder seasons, it's good to boost up your vitamin C levels, so that's why I'm chucking that in now. So we've also got some cauliflower rice. Now, cauliflower rice is essentially just cauliflower that's been put in a food processor. This is a great alternative to normal rice because it's really low calorie, but at the same time, it's packed with vitamin C and also fiber and folate, potassium, all the good stuff that you want. But you can eat a lot of it with barely any calories. The next thing I've got is also some condiments. So we've got some chilli here, and also some ginger and coriander. Now, these things go amazingly in stir fries, give it some great flavor. The reason I go for these packs is they last a long time. What I've also got is another carrot. Again, we want to boost up that vitamin A. It's got some good beta-carotene in it as well, so chuck that in there with the dish. And I've also got some white potatoes. Now again, I've been talking about vitamin C. White potatoes are another great source of vitamin C, but just as an overall, they're a powerhouse food, so great to chuck them in the meal. I won't actually be putting the potatoes in the stir fry itself, but I'll be cooking them separately, just in the microwave with a little bit of water, get them boiled, and then they're just good to add in the side, give a bit of extra texture. Also, to boost up the protein, if we didn't already have enough protein, we're going to add some chickpeas. Now, this chickpea here these are canned chickpeas from Woolworths, so the macro range. These are, full of fiber, full of protein, your iron, calcium as well. But the great thing about these, it's just chickpeas and water. There's no added salt or acidity regulators, so good brand to go off there. Then when it comes down to the sauces, you don't need a lot of sauce. We want to try and limit the sauce from being too much because you can add wasted calories. But what I always go for is a soy sauce, gives a little bit extra flavor. Now this one is just a regular soy sauce, but you can get reduced salt if you like. Then I've also got hoisin. Now I find hoisin goes really well with this tofu peanut stir fry, but you can change it up. You can go for maybe a black bean sauce, for instance. Just gives that different flavor, a bit of variety. Then also you just need a little bit of this, but this is pure sesame seed oil. Now, pure sesame oil, although it is high in fat, you only need a very little bit of it and it'll give an amazing aroma to your dish. So that's a great addition as well. And finally, I've just got some lemon juice here. Now I just use a little bit of this, but I find it just gives this little bit of added acidity to the dish, which gives it a nice balance. Now you can use fresh lemons, but just at the moment at the supermarket, they didn't have any today, so a little bit of the lemon juice does just fine, okay? All right, so now I'm just gonna prepare the vegetables, getting them ready for the frying pan. So we're just gonna start with the mushrooms, just nice chunky sizes, same with the carrot. So that's our carrot and our mushroom setup. This capsicum, as you can probably see, it's not your regular shape, maybe one of the fraggly ones. Don't worry too much about how it all looks. The great thing about red capsicum as well is you can actually you can eat it there, it doesn't need to be cooked, so that's another great thing. That's really nice capsicum. You can taste the sweetness of the capsicum. Let's get cooking. Grab our bag of vegetables. Gonna add the vegetables in. While we're waiting, the next thing we want to do is get the potatoes ready. Just be careful of your fingers with all the potatoes. The stir fry is cooking away quite nicely. Add the condiments. Start with a little bit of the chili. Generally anywhere between 1 to 2 tablespoons in. If you like it hot, more is better. add some of the ginger. I'll add the coriander. It's also one of Josh's favourite herbs as well, so he'll love this. You can just see us pouring it in there, just good to go. Now the next step, obviously you want to stir this around. First probably 3 to 5 minutes, you want to stir those vegetables around, get them nice lightly browned. There's no oil in the pan at the moment, so it's purely just the water that's held in the vegetables that's causing it to steam up. So the next step is getting the tofu ready and getting the beans ready. Usually what I will do is I'll add these things after about that 3 to 5 minute period and just let them start to cook. And at this point as well, you also want to be adding in your sauce. Drain out all of the liquid that's in the beans. If you were to drink this liquid or eat this liquid, you're going to have some problems in the bathroom. So if you did this in a strainer, the best way you can tell if the chickpeas are ready is if all of the, what we call the chickpea foam is gone. So there's none in here. And you can have them raw, they taste great. So for this stir fry dish, if from the amount I've got here, this will probably make about 2 meals for me. So I can add anywhere from a whole can to half a can, just depends on how much you want in there. So chickpeas are ready to go. That's all you had to get done. The next stage is to get the tofu prepped. And then that's ready to go. So we've now got our tofu ready and our beans ready. So what I'll do now at this point, the stir fry is actually cooking quite well, is I will grab a little bit of the lemon juice. Now I'll grab my soy sauce. Okay, now with the soy sauce, generally I'll put 1 to 2 tablespoons. If you're not having a lot of salt, and generally in a plant-based diet you don't get a lot of salt in your diet, then having something like a soy sauce isn't the end of the world. So now we're going to put in the hoisin sauce. So for this, again, look, the calories on this aren't that high. It's more that there's a little bit of extra sodium in there as well. But I would usually put 1 to 2 tablespoons of hoisin in. It just depends on what your macronutrients or your calories allow. But again, great flavor. You can change it up between different sauces. The next ingredient I will place in is the pure sesame oil. Now again, sesame oil is a little bit higher in fat as it is a straight oil, so you just need a little bit of it. So usually I'll put up to 1 tablespoon in. So as you've noticed, I did put a little bit of extra oil and sauces in there as well, but this dish is, you know, up to 3 or 4 serves in there. So for me, I like big meals, so I could have, you know, that over 1 or 2 meals, but for the general person, or if you're making this for dinner for the family, this is enough for 4 people. So the potatoes just went off in the microwave. I'm just going to check on them now. Usually what I'll do is I'll now flip them over or just rotate them a little bit in the bowl, put them on for another 5 minutes and they should be good to go. So the last step is to prepare the cauliflower rice. Now, to save on dishes and to save on cleaning up, what I'll usually do is I'll wait for the stir fry to cook, and then I'll add the cauliflower rice in and use the little bit of oil in there and a little bit of the moisture that's come off the vegetables to cook the rice. Now, the rice doesn't need a lot of moisture to cook, or oils or anything like that. You can just put it in there, brown it up so it's nice and crunchy, and then you can add it to your dish. So this meal should take roughly between about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. Once you have cooked it for about 10 minutes on a medium to high heat, you can slowly reduce the heat back down to about moderate, just to let it simmer. But in total, with preparation time, cooking time, and then placing it all together, usually this meal will take roughly about 20 minutes. Look at that, look at the flavor coming off. I know you can't smell this, but the flavor I can smell from this is amazing. So if something smells good, usually it means it's gonna taste really, really good. We're now gonna quickly just chuck the cauliflower rice into a pan, get that cooked up. This only takes a few minutes to do, so there's no worries about that getting cold. All right, so as you can see, the cauliflower rice has picked up all of that natural flavors from the vegetables, a little bit of the oil that was in there. And we're just gonna scrape all that out. There we go, and now the cauliflower rice is good to go. So now that we've got the stir fry done, we've got the cauliflower rice and we've got the potato, what I'll do now is grab a bowl, mix it in however much you want, and you're good to go. So there is how you make a simple, easy vegetable stir fry that's packed with vitamins and minerals, loaded with protein, good carbohydrate, and a moderate amount of fat. Okay. That's good. The only warning with the stir fry is you may eat too much of it, okay? Because it just tastes so good.